Good morning, friends, Facebook world. This video isn't necessarily going to be for everyone. I'm going to get into some pretty esoteric, metaphysical, spiritual concepts. Within my Facebook friend groups, so many of you I know from high school and from the work I've done in my career, and a large portion of you are from spiritual groups that share similar interests as me, and I believe this is for many of you. I hope you will see this and it will get shared. Somebody on my Facebook feed asked an incredibly powerful question, and I'm realizing that due to my energetic astrological makeup, when questions are posed, I've always loved the Socratic method and asking questions and seeing what comes up. For me, I'm finding it's fascinating answers, responses that are coming up for me that I didn't know were there because I probably never thought of the questions. So here was the question that was asked. What is the difference between light and false light? And false light is a concept that's been within spiritual traditions for as long as I've been learning about them. The idea that some teachers or beings are fronting with an energy of love and support and authenticity when there's a falseness to it that can't be trusted. So this lack of trust or challenge of trust is the key word here, is really within religions, right? We all know that we have to kind of question things. At least as humans, that's very much what we're taught. So I read the question, and what came up rather quickly was that false light is simply information and energy that comes with strings attached. Authentic, sourced, real light is infinite. It asks for nothing in return except that we receive it, which I don't know if you've noticed how humans are behaving these days and the challenges we've all faced due to teachings and due to the false light paradigms. It's very challenging to surrender and receive the fullness of light. It asks us to change. It asks us to look at shadows and dark sides and things, unconscious things we've wanted to avoid. So light/healing inherently creates some discomfort. And so it's almost like humans, it's too good to be true. Like in my experience, the most profound practices that allow us to experience and receive light, they're free. Well, what's one of those lovely false light cliches out there? Nothing's for free, especially if it's good. So I call BS on that. That's false light. False light is saying you can't just receive without having to give something up. There has to be a string attached. That's this 3D karmic idea. But in higher dimensions, which I believe we can simultaneously experience all at once, we are. It's not really a choice. So on the one hand, it might look like in this world there is a string attached, but really the highest truth, the highest light truth is that there is no string attached. You just have to believe and be willing to receive. I don't know that I have any more to say on this concept, but I thought, due to some people in my interpersonal life and due to the question that was posed this morning, I thought I would say this publicly because maybe it will help or support somebody. And I like to do that. So share this if it inspired you. share it with your spiritual groups. It's a very deep concept, but I think many of us humans are ready to be aware that, yeah, there is false light that comes with strings attached, but we can dissolve and transform those strings. Oh, I'm glad I remember this. I wasn't done. Like, think of the person in Hollywood. We've all heard that it's possible that for some beings to get fame, that they were given the option to, quote unquote, sell their soul to the devil. What does that really mean? That means that somebody helped them get famous, but there were strings attached. As divine spiritual beings, which that's one of my core beliefs, and I'm sure I'll talk about that on one of these, and I have alluded to it, that essentially we really are divine beings. Not necessarily perfect, because we're here playing in this third dimension full of challenges, but on higher levels, yes, we're perfect and we're lovely. So we can be bigger than the strings attached. So even if you're playing with false light, in my experience, it's still one of our abilities, if we choose to dissolve, transform those strings, basically say no to them. We can be bigger than all seeming attachments. This is tricky, and I don't encourage everyone to just say, oh, well, shoot, then I can look all kinds of potential shadows and false light scenarios right in the face and I'll just be okay. It's a acquired skill, and so, dip your toe in, challenge yourself with the things that tickle your fear buttons, and see if you're big enough to handle that, and then proceed with caution on to the next thing that might scare you, but you want to do, and you want to prove to yourself that you can. I'm just sharing with you some of the processes that I've used over the years to slowly but surely own my sovereignty and my spiritual and psychic abilities. And we all have these abilities. A recurrent theme within anything that I ever say or post or share with clients I work with is that I'm not special, and all that anybody is doing on a huge big level, anyone else can learn those same skills. Nobody has ownership over psychic, spiritual abilities. Okay, now I've kind of rambled a little, and really appreciate anybody who's watched this. And again, share if it inspired you, and love to all of humanity, and peace. And what a glorious day. It's been rainy in California. Woohoo!